Dear Dean, I was thinking about shows today, and I remembered the beach and you and this box. I went back and read through all the letters, and for the first time in a long time, I wasn't sad about it. Not in the same way. I've been so tired lately. I'm so tired of being angry and sad, because that wasn't the point. Being sad about the things I miss isn't loving you. It never was. Loving you was so much bigger than that. I don't think I can stop loving you. I think it's a part of me now, and it's never leaving. I'm sorry that things didn't work out the way we wanted them to. I'm sorry. I'm sorry we weren't as equipped to deal with the hand we got. The fact that we didn't get to do the little plans hurts more than the big ones. Sometimes I stop myself at work and realize I'm never going to sit in Van's noodle house with you. And I don't know exactly. I'm so terrible at letters, Dean. I'm glad you never had to read them when you were in Vietnam. They were all so terrible and boring and wordy. I think that the point of it all is that the moment at the beach, I had never really understood who I was until then. That's who I am. That person, and there, right there, next to me, that was you. That's who you are. This whole time I thought I'd lost you, and there you were. Memories are good that way. I can remember us, and I can keep living. I can keep going and always know right where to find you when I miss you. And I miss you all the time. I want you to realize this someday. All of that about us. You don't have to be guilty. And I know you are, and I understand why everything happened the way it did. It just happened. It just happened, Dean. And it's all right. I'm all right. I'll be okay. Once you told me it didn't seem right to say goodbye, and you were right. And wouldn't you be pleased with yourself to know it? The truth of it has never been clearer to me, my darling. And you are always my darling. See you then.
Dissociation is an experience unlike any other, and I don't mean that in a good way. A measly 200 to 400 words does not scratch the surface of months or even years of dissociation. It is not a simple feeling or emotion, it is an entire state of being, like you are trapped between two worlds but not present in either. It is like being a bacteria on a slide of glass under a microscope. A bright light and watchful eye observes you as you squirm and struggle, not even fully aware of what is going on or what you are doing. Dissociation is like being caught in a horror movie. You don't know any lines. You don't know what is real or fake. You feel like people and cameras are tracking you, and none of them can be trusted. A feeling of dread keeps you awake, yet you are paralyzed constantly in a sleep-like state. People talk to you, but you can't understand what they're saying. It's like being underwater. You know you have to complete tasks and take care of responsibilities, but you can't even remember what they are or how to do them. People probably say things to you about how weird you're acting or how you keep falling behind, but honestly, you can't even remember if those conversations actually happened. Dissociation is like your body running on autopilot without your permission. There's glass walls inside your mind, but they are foggy. You can take a guess at what's happening outside, but there's no way to be sure. You feel nothing, but you still somehow feel bored and sad and anxious and paranoid. After a while, you just can't seem to remember anything. But that's the point of dissociation, right? That your mind is so traumatized by whatever event or surroundings or people or ideas that it just shuts off in an effort to preserve itself. It prays for just a moment's reprieve from the suffering. The days melt into each other, but then they evaporate completely. Months of my life are gone. There is no lesson to be learned. There is no honor to be fought for in this battle. Eventually, you either wake up or you die. Even when you wake up, it isn't a joyous experience. You probably don't even notice that you woke up at first. You might not even fully awaken until a few weeks later. You just feel a little more like yourself and a little less scared of the world around you.
unencumbered. She reaches out her hand and gently cups my flushed cheek. I slowly turn my head into her glowing palm. If I stare long enough, my fear burns away. Time is stagnant. I'm suspended in an endless summer, lost in a pink blur of a world I once knew like the back of my hand, my mind cloaked in warmth forever. I know the time will come for me to once again slip into my earthly captor, pulsing, warm creature foreign to my soul. Cruel crimson, why do you taunt me? Your vivid, dripping veins. It is a wicked fact that colors fade as we age. I'm unsure whether to blame my eyes or my brain. Insects speak to me, pleading for me to join the forest in her timeless dance. Her branches whisper, I belong under their canopy. I root my feet into the dirt. The earth reaches her hands up and pulls my toes towards her core, begging to make a real acquaintance. Fiery fingers touch the soft blue blanket, sky blue, blue like the ocean and blue like my eyes. In my youth, I asked the ocean to envelop my body, praying that my soul would find peace in the void. Tension which I held in my bones swept away into the suffocating depth. I still do not know why I came back to shore. Awake, I am a fragile being. A gust of wind could blow me back, no record of my existence. I cling to every flower, leaf, raindrop, desperate, praying to a faceless God that my chosen pieces of nature will solve the puzzle. Do I look mysterious when I read? When I hold the thick book in my calloused hands? My rough skin to tell that I spend more time climbing trees than flipping through pages. What secrets does that girl hide? She must know how to be free. I am merely an actress, my transparency on display as I page through my book. Each longing, love, insecurity, fear, and dream presenting themselves, placing themselves as if they were petals of a rose, available for each passerby to pluck and to examine. I'm destined to remain only a mystery to myself. But maybe they don't care. For those who speak of peace know the greatest chaos. Maybe we are all so scared of others discovering our secrets that we spend all of our energy hiding them. No breath left to unearth what others hide. I have been searching my entire life for a switch. Digits ooze from my pores, the bodily curse of an analytical mind. Its ability to constantly assess exhausts me, seeking patterns where none exist, creating algorithms based off randomness. The intricacy of this universe is destined to remain a mystery, just as I am destined to always fear her vastness. There are moments, though. Moments when music caresses my skin like a lover, leaving a trace of goosebumps. Moments when I laugh, my heartbeat syncing with a friend's. Moments of connection, stories exchanged through eye contact with a stranger. Moments when I dance, unruly hair covering my eyes, my grasp on reality loosening. In those moments, I feel free. In those moments, am I free? My questioning traps me once again. I dull my thoughts, smoke fills my lungs. The gray, thick blanket coats my throat. Tiny, fragile pink air sacs stiffen, darken, and die. I will never be truly uninhibited.
Fun fact, you are made of stardust. While I rode through a thunderstorm on my bike, I pondered about where in the universe my atoms were derived. Like ripe sporangia on the underside of a fern, an enormous number of stars detonated eons ago and flung their atomic spores into the cosmic breeze. The atoms germinated, and I was born. 20 years later, I had the pleasure of investigating the aquatic fern Azolla folliculoides. 50 million years prior, Azolla sprawled across the entirety of the Arctic Ocean. An atmosphere laden with carbon dioxide powered intercellular assembly lines, and an endless plume of fresh water brimming with nutrients authorized the construction of new cells. For nearly 1 mega-annum, the fern chugged away. It sucked up any and all nourishment its heedless roots could grasp, and it single-handedly plummeted the warmest point of the Cenozoic climate to its coolest. Dubbed the Azolla event, a period marked by the flourish of one organism ended with the demise of countless others. Today, all that remains of this catastrophe is 10 meters of fossilized mud embedded deep within the Arctic crust. 20,000 years ago, shifts from nomadic to agrarian living in humans marked the beginning of our worldwide sprawl. Rendering nature predictable resulted in massive population upticks, and our relentless sapping of Earth's resources would eventually prove itself a looming threat to our species. As mindlessly as Azolla siphoned life out of the world until it imploded in on itself, humanity blindly traces its footprints. Drought and famine loom over us the way a buzzard eyes a stumbling deer. I set my gaze towards the silhouetted woods when the fur of a deer's tail poked through jumbled foliage like a daisy peeking out from rubble. Lightning flashed, and I was grateful to be alive. Another flash, and I caught the deer's eyes staring at me. I pedaled on.
I'll never forget my summer 2 years ago. I was a counselor in training at my local sleepaway camp on Orcas Island in Washington. Between the 2 weeks I was there, we spent the weekend camping at Twin Lakes. On Saturday morning, we had the opportunity to hike up Mount Constitution, but to do so, we had to wake up at 4 in the morning. I wondered when this opportunity would come again, and realized it probably wouldn't, so I decided to go. There were 5 of us in total. 4 counselors in training and 1 of our directors. The hike was excruciating. 7 miles and 1,500 feet in elevation that we had to cover in 2 hours in order to make it to the top to see the sunrise. We didn't have time for breaks, so if you stopped to drink from your water bottle, you had to run up the mountain to catch up, which would only make you even more tired. There were many times when it seemed like we had made it to the top, only for there to be so much more. The higher we got, the colder it became, which started to be quite nice as we were all sweating so much. When we finally got to the top, it was light out and we thought we surely missed the sunrise. However, once we walked up the stone tower atop the mountain, we realized that we couldn't yet see the sun. There was a thick layer of clouds just over the horizon, so while the sun had technically risen and it was light out, it was still behind those clouds, so we essentially didn't miss anything. We watched in awe as the sun slowly rose from behind the clouds. The cold breeze combating the summer heat was so accomplishing. Watching the sunrise, knowing that we achieved our goal, made the grueling climb completely worth it. I would never hike up Mount Constitution again, but I'm so glad that I did it once.
how it feels to live in a village that has no seasonal change. Everything's around you. The weather, the trees, the land, and maybe the people. They never change for the whole time. I've been living in a place like that for years. What does that look like? It's blue everywhere. No oranges because leaves don't fall down in October. No pink because there are no flowers in the spring, if it ever exists here. No red because we don't have strawberries in the summer. Just blue skies, blue lakes, blue lands. The space is saturated with a never-ending blueness. It feels stable, but also boring, with a sense of constant sadness everywhere. And I hate it here. I don't want to have snow and bubbles every dinner. I don't want to see the same thing every morning. I want to feel hot and cold. I want to feel the desire to go outside and the need to run back home. But I don't think people here feel the same.
I'm fine with this. I don't want this place to transform 4 times a year. Summer is hot and annoying too. But don't you think the flowers are really pretty?
It is bad, right?
Hey,
What?
I hear you. I'm sick of this place too. But there is a way to change it. Find the red bird and bring it to the lake. Once the bird touches the lake, everything will change.
There is a red bird here? Like, really? In red?
Yeah, in the field. Hurry.
We know that you want to change this place. Don't do that. You are messing up everything. Yeah, how are we going to adapt with that? What if things get worse after this?
But I know for sure that if we keep staying in blue like this, we will die in boredom.
I know he is finding the red bird. Follow him. Where is he? There.
You gotta let me do this. I'm here.
I know that you will come.
Really?
Yeah.
In year 3000, the world is fuck. There are 100 billion people. It's too crowded.
The government estimates that each dot is equal to 10 million people.
There are people everywhere.
There is not enough land to live on anymore.
Virtually everyone is upset or depressed. So the government decide to legalize an ancient drug that have been prohibited for decades before.
Only chosen people can buy it, including Eric. The drug makes him feel good, so he drinks them daily. It comes with severe side effects. He cannot control his body anymore. Every day, some body part of him changed. He is still able to walk, but it's weird.
The drug damaged his mental health, but Eric could not do anything about it.
Eric got addicted to the drug.
Every day he lives in his happy dream. The dream about a pink rabbit traveling to the unknown.
He could not do anything if he doesn't take the drug. Nobody cared, because it's too many people anyway. Nobody knows when Eric disappeared. He vanished. In 3100, there are 99 billion people. It's too crowded.
There are people everywhere. So the government decide to legalize an ancient drug that have been prohibited for decades before.
하게 쳐봐봐. 시간 다 해쳐가. 그러면 나 오셔도 있나, 매매. 하하하하. 다다 아부.